Hi YouTube. I lost my virginity to a hooker last year at age 24. I decided to do this because once I turned 24, I realized everybody's had their fun by now. You look at the STD statistics, chlamydia and those sorts of things, the age groups are always like under 24 or under 25, where stuff is most common, because people are having lots of sex, unprotected sex even. They're having the time of their lives, having their fun. And for me, well, it never happened. A few missed opportunities, and I'm just not attractive, I don't have social skills, and don't have the propinquity being around people where I can meet them. So, it never happened. So, I tried a few dating options online, a few different places, and I tried Tinder, of course. No success. A few flakes and a few messed up opportunities. I decided I'd buy a camera for taking some better Tinder photos. I was going to go to the Carlton Gardens and take some nice pictures in the autumn with all the leaves falling. Actually, I was going to go there on a date just before that, but she flaked on me, so I was feeling pretty bad. Instead of going and taking some photos, well, I did actually buy the camera, but instead of that, I decided I would go and lose my virginity, because I had had enough at that point. It's time to do it. I'm not waiting to go to Japan and go to Tabita Shinchi or Yoshiwara. Just get it done now in Melbourne. So I went to a legal brothel. I went there in the daytime, walked up. This one didn't have a buzzer doorbell. Usually they do. So I walked in, the receptionist is like, "Hello, how are you?" She seems alright, she's some old lady. And so she brings out the girls one by one. Two of them shake my hand, and one of them is kind of far away. I can't decide between these two girls, so I get the receptionist to bring them back out again. I tell them that I'm a virgin, and I see how they react. I pick the one that reacts better. One of them, I felt like maybe she can't deal with my autism or awkwardness, and I was proven right when I saw her the following week. But I picked someone who was a bit less attractive than I should have. She had a big booty, like some other guy said she's better than porn. To lose your virginity to someone who other people have said is better than porn, well, I guess I didn't do too bad. But she was Thai and she was like 32. She was too old for me. But anyway, she was really nice, and I think it went pretty well. We did the usual positions, missionary, cowgirl, doggy, and she finished me off with a hand job, and then she gave me a massage. So it was okay for my first time. She was like gentle and patient and nice, but I could tell there wasn't really a connection. But anyway, it went alright. Since then, I've been visiting prostitutes a few times, sometimes weekly, and to be honest, it's not going that well. See, what happened was, after all this time, like waiting till 24 to lose my virginity, and being stuck with my hand all these years, and occasionally those toys you see that people in, 4chan, or I guess people in the internet communities know of, like the holes and the vibration toys, like a Cobra Libre, and I tried putting a vibrator on my frenulum. Now, I think I've just gotten really desensitized all these years, after all the masturbation, all the porn, and the occasional toy. And I think maybe when your body realizes that sex isn't gonna happen, maybe it starts to shut down. So I'm kind of broken, so basically, I can't come from sex. I've never came from sex. I've only ever had sex with a condom. I can come from hand job or come in mouth blowjob. And this really pisses them off, the hookers. Sometimes they don't want to keep doing the hand job, or they don't want to keep having sex, so then they insist on the hand job, and then they quit from the hand job too. And then they wonder why I leave. I mean, and then it just pisses everyone off. Like, I'm pissed off, they're pissed off, the manager is pissed off. And it just turns to shit. The other thing is, prostitutes are real women. And they're the same as any other woman. They have the same desires and the same aversions as any other woman. So they're going to be attracted to some people there, or they're not going to be attracted. If normal women think you're some autist and they think you're creepy and stuff, well, prostitutes will too. So they're going to treat you poorly. I mean, just like someone working at McDonald's, like, they're not nice to you, even if you didn't do anything to them. Even if you didn't give them some confusing order or something, and you're not doing anything to piss them off, they just hate you. Like, just like in other shops, they might treat you poorly. And Chad still exists in the hooker world. Chad is going to be having sex with these hookers bareback, that is, no condom. Or he'll get cum in mouth while you get a condom blowjob. For the same price, he'll get an enthusiastic service while you get assembly line, ice cold service. It's variable stuff, and they call it punting, as in gambling, but really, it's not up to chance. Well, I mean, it is a numbers game for you to find someone who tolerates you, who's nice to you, who's willing to do stuff with you. And it's difficult. But the truth is that you see married people and a lot of very sociable people, very rich people, high status people, married people. So these are people who are getting laid, like, a lot. You see these people in the industry, they are the typical clients because they get a lot out of this, because girls like them, because they are people who are getting laid, who can get laid outside of the industry. And they are not incels. So there's positive feedback there. You get people who get good outcomes from this sex service and they come back. And incels are not going to get treated well by women, so they don't come back unless they're willing to put up with that. See, the problem with this is you have to put up with the misery going somewhere and remembering that you're still effectively being rejected for, like, more services, and you're being rejected in terms of being treated coldly, being treated differently to the other guys, and you're still paying your $180 or $250 or more despite that. So the question is, should you do it? And what would I recommend? I think that you do need to realize the limitations of what you can get out of this. I'd recommend that if you haven't lost your virginity, you should lose it as soon as possible. Absolutely do not wait until you're 24, because you do not want to run into problems like I did. I've read about other people who lost their virginity late and had problems, and I'm pretty sure there were some statistics about this where people are more likely to have problems if they lose their virginity late. So you really should do it as soon as possible. If you're of age, well then go out and do it. If you're under 18, well then go out on your 18th birthday. In New South Wales, and I think Victoria is the same, you can buy sexual services when you're 16, but not all places will let you in. Definitely get it done so you can avoid the problems. But, first, before you do anything, make sure you get the HPV vaccine. If you haven't gotten it, you need to get that before you become sexually active. That way you can avoid genital warts and you can have lots of risky sex without worrying as much. So all the other diseases, they're a lot easier to deal with than warts, where you're going to be having them frozen off or something. It's horrifying. I hope I never get them. I probably will one day. I think you need to temper your expectations. Obviously, if you're an incel like me, you're not going to get treated well by these hookers. You're not going to get the intimacy and the connections that other customers might get. You're going to get the assembly line service. And if you want extra stuff, like you want unprotected blowjob or you want cum in mouth, you might have to pay extra for that. And yeah, the other thing, I didn't make it as special as I wanted it to be. It would have been nice to have something really special or something really real, but that didn't happen. And I think it might be good to put a bit of planning into it, but don't end up postponing it and never doing it. Is it going to cure your loneliness or your incel? Is it going to make you happy? Honestly, no. I don't think so. It's about satisfying your basic needs, maybe getting some sex, some human touch, but it's not going to solve your problems. It might make you feel even more miserable. So don't say I didn't warn you. Still though, I recommend trying it. Don't just go for years and years without any touch, letting your prime years go by and be wasted. You only live once. Hashtag YOLO, whatever. You can't just waste your life away rotting. Of course, getting a girlfriend or getting a hookup would probably be better, because then they might actually like you. You can still try and look for a girlfriend, you can still try to get hookups while you are visiting prostitutes. Some people I've heard of, they go on a date and then they visit the prostitute afterwards when their date failed. You can do something like that. But anyway, I'd really like more people to get into this because there aren't that many guys like me in this scene going around having sex with hookers. It's only those old folks and married guys, the chads, and it'd be really good to have more incels in here so we can have an industry that caters to us. Thank you.